Sadnam Namaste. If you live in the northern hemisphere, the weather's becoming colder, and as we approach the holidays, we're gathering more in groups, such as family gatherings, work parties, socializing with friends, that sort of thing. And all of which can bring up a lot of challenges around communication and emotional triggers. Now, emotional triggers can make you feel angry, sad, or depressed. Somebody says something or does something that sets you off, and you react by saying something snarky, or you simply withdraw into yourself. Emotional triggers flood your body with chemicals. Emotions are chemical, and what happens is that you can't think straight. Your mind is overwhelmed by the condition that your body is in. And if you choose to react, this can give the ego huge power instead of just letting the energy move, which requires self-awareness and discipline. These emotional triggers belong to the past, right? An example is that somebody says something to you about your behavior. Let's say they say, "That's not normal." Unconsciously through this, a memory comes flooding forward from the past. Your mother, when she didn't approve of your behavior, used to say to you, "That's not normal." So with this memory also comes a mountain of suppressed emotions, such as shame, sadness, anger. So you may not be aware of what's going on beneath the surface. All you know is the ego is in full attack mode and wants to lash out at that person who seems to be causing you pain. So you can see how dramas can begin in your life. So one amazing way to deal with emotional triggers is to listen. Listening is different from hearing. Hearing is just picking up sounds. Hearing is waiting for your turn to speak. Hearing is scripting what you're going to say while the other person is talking. Hearing is filtering information through your ego, through your past, through your conditioning. Hearing keeps you in a state of delusion. Now, the difference between hearing and listening is like the difference between looking at a photograph and watching a movie. Listening is a richer experience of another person. Listening is a richer experience of your life. With listening, you're picking up the frequency of energy beneath the words themselves. To listen is to forget yourself. Can you do that? Can you bring that kind of attention to someone else that you absolutely forget yourself? You have no sense of your own personhood, no sense of your ego. Can you let go of your agendas? Can you let go of needing to be right? Can you let go of needing to look good? Can you let go of defending your point of view? To truly listen, the ego needs not to be present. So when you listen, the divine is present. God is present. When you listen, you don't even have to intellectually follow that other person, because when you listen, you know in your heart what that person is really communicating. So I have a personal example. I was preparing to teach a weekend immersion, and I was in the middle of a very stressful time as all the pieces were not falling into place, right, according to my timeline. And I had to deal with someone who was in charge of the venue, and he was very mental, intellectual, and his communication style was verbose. That is, he used a lot of words to communicate simple concepts, making everything complex. So when I was talking to him, I could feel my impatience. My ego wanted to finish his sentences. And my ego saw him as a block to the more important work, right? I put in quotation marks, the more important work that needed to be done. And I caught myself. I was feeling contracted. I was feeling impatient, right? And I just wanted to get out of there. I wanted to be on to the next thing. Basically, I was in full-on resistance to this experience. And suddenly I could hear my intuition bubble up and say, go into your heart. Don't even follow with your mind what he's saying. So I went into my heart and accepted that this was my job right now, to listen to this man so intently as if God were speaking through him. And out of this interaction, I witnessed a miracle. This man in front of me found his heart, and he told this beautiful, heartfelt story from his past and was actually crying at the end. And after that exchange, our communication became much smoother and much richer and much deeper. So when you listen like this, you too will witness miracles. It's a relief just to give yourself permission to just listen to someone else and forget the to-do list, forget all the ego's problems, and give your full attention to another person. So give your full attention this holiday season. People want your presence. They don't really care about gifts. They don't really want you to fix them. They want you to listen to them. It's very healing to have someone listen to you in this way. And if you're someone who dominates conversations usually, you wake up the next morning and you have a sore throat from the party, right? Because you've done so much talking. You want to be listening more to people. And if you're someone who listens more than talks, you need to listen to your own heart and speak from this place. In the Aquarian Age, we're moving from communication to communion. And communion is listening to another person so deeply that you experience that other person as you. There's no separation. So communion is listening to another person so deeply that you experience that other person as you. There is no separation. Satnam Namaste.